Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the multi-strand necklace and matching pair of earrings that I will be making. Most of the components came from the bargain bead box for the month of April 2023. And if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all the information in the description box below, including my code. That code is Casey2. And that code will get you $2 off your first month subscription or $2 off your first order from their website. So if you would like to see how this matching set came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, 1 set of round nose pliers, 1 set of crimping pliers, and 1 set of industrial cutters. I am also using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which is this silver color. And I always get the 100 feet just because I go through it so quickly. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set. And as the name suggests, these tools are very comfortable to use. And the biggest thing for me is the size. A lot of times jewelry making tools will be made quite a bit smaller. And you can see here the grips are quite a bit smaller as well. And I'm telling you, ever since I found these tools, I just can't imagine using anything else. So I will have this tool set linked down below along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. And I will also link below the opening video I did for the bargain bead box, and they will have a detailed description of everything that came in the box. And I also have here some 22 gauge wire, and the first thing that I'm going to do is wire wrap this pendant leaf. And that is why I have industrial cutters. I always recommend having a set of these when you're cutting anything a little bit thicker, like wire like this or memory wire. This will make your regular jewelry cutters last a lot longer. So I've already cut a piece here. It's probably a little bit too long. It's about 6 inches. And I'm simply going to put it through the stem of the leaf here. And once I get it at the middle point, I'm going to bend it up just like this. And I'm going to take my chain nose pliers just above it, like right about in here. And I'm going to pinch it closed just above, just like that. Pinch it down a little bit. Bend it right at a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers just above. Wrap it around until it's going down. Switch to the bottom. And then wrap it through just like that. And now I'm going to wrap it around several times just like this, where this wire kind of hanging off. And I'm going to take my industrial cutters, get in as close as I can, snip off those edges, and then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers again and flatten those edges in. So just like that. And it's okay if your loop kind of changes a little bit. You just take it right back with your round nose pliers and form it back into place. And there we have the loop for our pendant. So now I'm going to set this aside. And I have already cut a length of wire for the strand. And it's just over 12 inches long. And here's how I start every strand. I put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. I'm going to put it through one side, wrap it around, and put it through the other. And I want that jump ring up in that wire guardian, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And I want both ends of the wire through that crimp tube. And I don't really need the tail that long, so I'm going to pull on the longer side. And you want to hold those wires apart so they're not crossed under that crimp tube. And I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot and give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go into that first divot, give it another smash, and then I'm going to go in with that flat part on the end and give it the final smash. And there, it's nice and snug. And I'm going to take a crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, just like that, and flip it up And I'm gonna do a gentle smash, just like that, with my chain nose pliers. And I'm gonna go front to back on that crimp cover to give it that round shape, just kind of gently on each side. And there's how you start each end. So now it's just the order of the beads. So my first two, I have a bicone and a 4mm spacer. Pull it down. And I want to put that tail through the first couple of beads, just like that. And I'm going to be using these flower bead caps from my own stash. And here's our next set of beads. I have the 6mm bead by itself, and then the 10mm bead with a bead cap on either side. Pull them down. And then I'm going to do this exact thing 2.5 more times. And here is this side. And like I said, it's 2.5, so you've got this set up again, and then one more green bead. So here is one side. And now the middle component is going to be very small. So I have spacer, bicone, spacer. Pull it down like this. And I have made an executive decision. As I am creating this, I have changed my design, which, that happens sometimes. You get an idea in your head and it looks good. I'm going to change the direction of this loop. So that is a simple change. I'm going to put it back into the round nose pliers and simply change it 90 degrees. And here we go. I have changed the angle by 90 degrees, and instead of facing front, it is now facing to the side. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the wire. And you can see when I hold it snug, the loop just goes freely over those center three, but it stops on that green one. So it will stay on this center part. And now I'm going to have this exact same pattern on this side, and then we will meet back up to close it off. All right, and here is the entire strand, and now we will close it off. Okay, so I had to pause in my filming for a second to run and help my son with something, and I broke a nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and point it out and laugh at myself. Normally I have really, really long nails, and now I have one really short one, but you know what? It happens, and we're gonna continue. So to close it off, I add a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a guardian wire. I put it through one side and wrap it around, put it through the other. And I want to make sure the jump ring is up in the guardian wire, and I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers and then put both ends of the wire through that crimp tube and take that tail, pull it on down. I'm going to put the end through the first couple of beads like that and pull it through. And you want to pull that tail really snug, but here you have to have a balance, and you want to make sure your strand can move. So you want to move it around and make sure that it has some flexibility to it. You don't want it too snug. And I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. Get that taco shape. Turn it on its side. Go into that first divot. Give it another smash. And then I'm going to go with that flat part at the end. Give it the final smash. And it's nice and snug. And I'm going to take that crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube. Then I'm going to flip it up. Go in with my chain nose pliers. Give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back on that crimp tube. Just on the ends to give it that round shape, like that. And I'm going to go in with my cutters and get as close as I can and cut that tail. And I'm going to go in and push that nub into the next bead. Just like that. And here is our main strand. And this will be the longer of the two strands. This is the bottom strand. And I have already made the shorter strand. It is right here with the leaf beads that came in the box. And it is opened and closed the same way. And here is the pattern. And I'll go ahead and set them right here. Usually how I design multi-strand bracelets is one strand is about 1 inch shorter than the other. So this first strand here, the shorter strand, if you look at just the beads, it's about 5 1/4, 5 1/2, right in there. And then the longer strand is right here, about 6 1/4, right in there. So I usually have about 1 inch in length separating the two strands. So now we're going to put everything together, connect it. And what I'm using to connect each side is the loop end to some toggle clasps that I have. These are a little bit smaller toggle clasps, but I'm just using the loop side, so we'll connect one end. So I'm gonna get the jump ring and open it and connect it to the loop, the big loop in the toggle clasp. Close it and take the longer strand, open the jump ring, and I want to put it on the correct side of the shorter strand there and close it just like that. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, so we have it connected now on both sides, and that 1 inch usually has them hanging pretty nicely. And here's the cable chain that I'm going to be using. Each length of chain is about 7 inches. I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it, and I'm going to connect it to the loop in that toggle clasp, just like that, and then take the last link of the chain and connect it to that jump ring. Then close the jump ring. I'm going to take one more 4mm jump ring, open it, and go to the other last link and put it on there. And then I'm going to take my lobster clasp and put it on just like that. Close that jump ring. So here's one side, and you're going to connect the other side the same way, except instead of putting on the lobster clasp, you're going to put on a 5mm jump ring. All right, so here is the other side with that jump ring on the end, all connected. And now we're going to connect the clasp just like that. All right, and here is the final necklace. And now I'm going to put this aside as we make the matching earrings. So here is one of the matching pairs of earrings that I made, and we're going to make the other one together. So the first thing we're going to do is make all the components at the end, and they're fairly simple. For each one, I'm going to use a ball end pin, and we're going to use the largest one, the green leaf, put it on there, and make sure you have the tip side down, and then one of the 5mm spacers. And I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers just above that spacer bead at the top, bend it, and I don't have a degree of bend, but just about like that. And then bend it back with your fingers. And as you can see, it starts a pretty nice loop. Go in with your cutters, just like that. And then I'm going to go in with my round nose pliers again and bend that loop close. Just kind of curl it back, just like that. Take the next pin, orange leaf, and this time I'm going to use one of my grooved spacer beads and do the same thing. Just like that, and then I'm going to make another one of these. All right, and there's the second one. And the last one, I'm going to be using these flower bead caps. Bead cap facing up, 6mm, bead cap facing down. So simple pattern there. I make the loop the same way, go in with my round nose pliers, bend it around with my fingers, go in with my cutters. And then the one thing that I do when I have bead caps at the top is when I curl this closed, I try to tuck the end of that pin into the bead cap. Just like that. And now I'm going to make another one of these. And here's the second one. And I'm using the same cable chain that I had in the necklace, and very easy numbers to remember. Just all odd numbers going up. So the smallest one is 3 links, then 5, then 7, then 9, then 11. And that way when they fall, each one is just a little bit longer than the previous one. And we're connecting them all to that loop. I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it, connect it to the green component. Use the shortest one, which is 3 links. I'm going to connect it to the last link. Close that jump ring, take another jump ring, open it, and connect it to the other last link in the 3, just like that. And you're going to connect it to the loop. then close the jump ring. Just like that. And each one of these is connected in the same way. And here's the order that I picked. The 2 green first, then the 2 orange, and then the larger green leaf as the last one. And of course you can put them in any order that you want. So I'm gonna connect all of these the same way I connected this one, and we'll meet back up. All right, so here it is. I have connected each one in the same order as I had this one here. And now we're gonna quickly put on the ear wire. So I'm gonna take the ear wire, open it just a little, and then just put the loop on the ear wire, just like that, and close it back. And here are the earrings, and now I'm gonna set it all up on the display so you can see it better. All right, so here it is, and I have to say I am very excited with how it came out. I think they go so well together, and I really love that wire wrapped leaf, that center pendant. I think it just sets the whole thing off. And those waterfall style earrings, I think that cable chain really does set it off, but those leaf beads, it's very, very fall. I think it is in right now, and I think it looks really, really good. So once again, if you are interested in the bargain bead box, I will have all the information in the description box below. I highly encourage you to go check them out, and when you do, you definitely want to use my code. That code is Casey2, and that code will get you $2 off your first month's subscription or $2 off your first order from their website. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I would love to hear your opinion of this set. I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.